You can easily afford to pack your child's lunch for school this morning. Cut yourself lucky. Not every parent can do that.
But there is good news for Missouri families struggling to make ends meet. Two bills have been filed that could make school lunches free for everyone.
WGEM's Ryan Hill is here to explain. Ryan, good morning.
Good morning. Now, Missouri House Bill 172 and Senate Bill 321 both look to provide free meals to public school students regardless of income. Those in the Palmyra Schools Food Department say this would benefit many students and families. Director of Nutrition Services, Lee Gosney, says when meals were free during the COVID pandemic, they would serve an average of 950 to 975 students every day. Now that meals are no longer free, she says they've seen that number drop between 700 and 800. She said it's important students are fed.
Being able to learn adequately, being able to retain what they learn, because when kids are hungry, they don't focus and can't keep track of what's going on in class as well.
She says right now 32% of students in the district now qualify for free or reduced cost lunches. The authors of both those bills are still working to determine how those free meals would be paid for, whether it would be state assistance, federal government assistance, or both. Ryan Hill, WGEM News.
Ryan, thank you. As for the progress of those measures, both bills have been filed. They are still awaiting discussion in their respective chambers. We have links to the full text on both at WGEM.com.